Torp here. I got exciting news. I think that we've found a new happy medium as far as being completely disgusted and being completely grossed out. And we know who the people are that did all that. So the discombobulation in this community started long before that did, but know this. One thing is for certain. We were all misled. It wasn't just about the glitch and how that started. It was also about the fact that, as we've talked about in the last few videos or the last week, that people are still attacking people's families, and don't get yourself too tied up. Let me tell you why. Most of the reason for that is simple. They're distracting us. Because we reached new levels. We reached new heights that I didn't even see coming. I'm not even sure if the other guy saw it coming. But channels that refused to talk about Glitchgate started talking about it, didn't they? Yes, they did. Finding the videos myself. We finally got that part out there so far and widespread. I know that these guys that are involved with it, I know for a fact. There's only one way to derail the community from what's actually being talked about, what was the point, is say, well, let's just really do something inconceivable. But we don't care because we have nothing to lose. We don't care how bad we sound. Because they already knew that they sounded bad anyway, didn't they? When we brought them up. They already sounded bad about Glitchgate, the one that started it. Glitchard, Sin City's Deliveries. Flex, always cherry pick. Pedro, Hannibal. They already had a problem. So this new problem with, saying whatever it was that they were thinking in their mind that was going to work to derail us, that has also failed. I can see it myself because, well, it's me that they were talking about. It was my family. So while everything that's been said up to this point is correct in my opinion about the people that are backing me, know this. They are also distracting us from our main course of action. Is that we all got played in the very beginning, and that's why we're mad. It's not because of the glitch that we're mad. It's because of the people that told us that being Top Dasher was the best thing in the world, and they'd show us a 98% completion rate. And they would say that this is how you do it, and they got paid to do that kind of thing. They made people believe in them. They have a huge following for it. We saw this. The same time, the people that didn't know about Glitchgate saw this, and we're on the same boat. The difference was there was a few of us that caught it. It's like, now wait a minute. Now that we got this, and we called it a leak because there's no other better way to put it. It was a leak to us because it seemed to us like we shouldn't have known about it. If it was some sort of secret, only for a select few. We're in the cool group, you're not. That group. And I even brought that up in a few videos. I was like, wait a minute. How is it that they did that on a live and made it public? Either they were desperate for attention and really wanted people to think that they knew something special because they were in a special clique, or it was a setup. Why is that public? Why was that privy to us? I've often wondered that. However, the fact that the glitch does work, or I don't even know if it does, but it did for sure. I don't know if it still does, couldn't tell you. But the fact that it did it all and they knew about it was all I ever needed. I don't really care if it was a setup that we were supposed to find that live, where Flex and Cherry were arguing about talking about it. Notice I didn't call it a leak that time. I'm not really sure that was a leak, guys. Think about it. If it was a leak, they wouldn't have made that public, and that's still up to this day. So you got to ask yourself, what exactly did we witness at that point during the beginning of Glitchgate? Was Glitchgate designed for something else in their community? They never got mad about the fact that we pointed them out. They just got fact about the mad that it might be exposed to the point to where it was removed from DoorDash. So where they could no longer use it. That's the only thing they cared about. They weren't worried about how much time you lost or how much money you lost. They never once considered that in any of their videos to make that a point. Not once did they say, oh, dude, whoops, that was me. You know what? We'd love to have told you everybody about it, and we've got more views for it. It's like, oh my God, look how smart this guy is. Look what he just pulled off. Thanks for sharing that. They would have got more notoriety for that than anything else, but they thought, well, wait a minute, we're going to have to backstep this now that everybody knows about it. Say, well, the problem with it is that we didn't want it exposed because we knew if it was, there's a possibility that DoorDash would fix the glitch. They'd patch it, which is funny to me because they're the same fucking guys that always say, DoorDash ain't watching us. Oh, it's blunt time. DoorDash isn't watching. I remember when Flex used to laugh at me for saying that. They're not watching you. So why were you so worried about it being public on our channels, Flex? If they're not watching? It's a good question, right? I think it's a good question. Is it just me, or is that a good question? If DoorDash is not watching our channels, Mr. Flex, why were you concerned that they would fix or patch the app on the glitch because everybody's talking about it on YouTube? Is this phase 2 we're looking at here? God, I wish they would stay lit. These things need to be more like cigarettes. So, as we roll down this road, they kept on derailing us. I have noticed that the only thing that they're talking about now is pussy and somebody else's family member. That's what they've been talking about for the last few days. Last week, whatever it's been. So why is that their new subject? Do they feel like that they've got us off of the original subject? I voiced my opinion about what they said. You guys heard it quite well. I think I cracked a couple ceilings with it. I got a shit ton of support. I got a shit ton of support. Now that's over. Because I said so. But here's the funny thing. They will not stop harping on that because once they realize that we're back on track, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, everybody involved on the right side of the track, don't let this shit go. That's what they were looking for. They figured they found a way. Get to the big mouth and fuck him up with something that has nothing to do with the glitch. And then we don't have to worry about the glitch being talked about anymore. I guess you guys didn't realize something. Glitch Dash never gave up on it. I pound signed Glitchgate in my last video. I haven't given up on it, but I had to set the record straight on something else first. You can play all the games you want, but don't think you ain't getting called out for that, cheese dicks. But we covered it. From here out, anything that they say or do will be rectified by their own audience. That's on them. If that is their new claim to fame, is by talking about other people's wives, that's on them. That will not derail any of us ever again. That was not a setup. That was just a really bad move on their part. Because they got zero credibility when they did that, so now the credibility that they had about knowing about the glitch and not telling us about it, but using it, lying to us about how to do DoorDash better, when they weren't doing it that way, because they were using the glitch, now their credibility is even worse on that subject. They have 0 points in this community, in my opinion. 0 points. And I don't think it's just mine either. So as we go down this road, and people say, are you still talking about the glitch? It's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, we are. Because the people that played everybody and got paid to do it, those people do not need to be forgotten. We need to raise up awareness a little bit more. Because those are the same people that if they would do that to you 2 years ago, up to a couple weeks ago, what do you think they'll do to you in the future? Tigers don't change their stripes, folks. They just get hungrier. Remember this when you're watching a channel, and you know that channel's getting paid either through stickers or super chats or AdSense. Their bottom line is their wallet. So when they talk to you about anything DoorDash or gig related, we need you guys to remember something. These are the same guys that lied to you over the last 2 years. I'm not saying they used the clip. I'm not saying they use the glitch. That's not the point. I want that point to be very mellow in your minds for a second. It's not that they used it or didn't use it. It's that they knew about it. And with the credibility that they now have, you make your own assessment as to whether or not they have credibility speaking about anything in the truth, keeping it 100. You can't tell me that you're going to listen to a car salesman sell you a car with a bad motor in it, but you are wrong, and your family is going to be destroyed because you're pointing out the fact that I'm selling you a bad car. I just told you it was a good car. I didn't know anything about that motor. My mechanic said it was a piece of shit, but that doesn't mean I knew it was a piece of shit. I didn't drive the car. That analogy might fall on some light ears, but we were sold a piece of shit. All the meanwhile, these guys were driving the brand new Mercedes-Benz, fully loaded, laughing at us for driving the piece of shit car. I think that analogy might click a little better. That's the same thing I'm talking about here. When you are gigging, and you are listening to people on YouTube that are getting paid to tell you anything that they can come up with to where you'll watch them more so they can get paid more, that means they can dash less. That means they can gig less. Why do you think they got so many videos up? They make them on a regular daily. Hell, as a matter of fact, some of these guys run live 24/7. Mr. Flex. And yeah, does he get paid? Sure he does. What does he give a fuck about the gig world for? All of his money's coming from lives. Half the time, he's not even in the car. Half the time, he's talking about somebody else's wife on another live, some damn place else, with a piece of fruit. Cherry. It's exciting stuff, it really is. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to share something with you. I know when I have been derailed, and I like to share that with you. I have been derailed severely, and there's no better way to derail somebody than to get personal. And when somebody gets personal, you have to ask yourself, now why did you just get personal on me? You're not defending the fact that you knew about this glitch years before we did, while telling us that we didn't know how to dash right, that you should be a cherry pick, that you shouldn't be a top dasher, that large order program is where it's at. Meanwhile, large order program, you don't need either one. The acceptance rate doesn't matter, and you don't have to be a top dasher. So why sell top dasher or be against top dasher? Keep that fight going amongst that side of the group for a while. And then you had other people talking about, well, I think you should look at charts. Pay attention to charts. Know your zone. Know how to maintenance your car. Use upside. Use duh. Use solo. These things will help you succeed. And by the way, if you click the link under my description, yeah, I'll get a little kickback off of that. Doesn't really matter if I like it or not, but if you're going to pay me to click on it and install it on your phone, then by all means, do it. Yeah, I like that idea. How much more money can we make off of these fools? Oh, by the way, a couple weeks later, it turns out they're not fools. They're in our face. How do we shut them up? Let's call them liars. Oh, Glitchcake, you guys are so stupid. You don't even know. Oh my God, this is. Oh, who knew? Blah, blah, blah. Didn't work. So they resorted to personal attacks. Personal family attacks. Third party attacks, as we like to call it. And that was their plan. Let's derail them. Start off with the loudest mouth. Shit rolls sideways. Notice I didn't say downhill. We don't have a downhill here. That's the difference between the community I'm in and the one that Mr. Flex is in. There is no downhill. We're all equals, man. We started off that way and we're still that way. So when you are a dasher and you come to YouTube for the first time, There is no telling who's going to lie to you. But know this. As of a few weeks ago into the future now, we're going to goddamn make sure that when we punch up our tags and our ats into our descriptions, those videos will be seen on your feed. Yes, they will. The related videos will be us. Flex, Pedro, Hannibal, Sin City. That will not stop, at least not on my watch. I get really disgusted and I get a little bit fucking cranky when people fucking lie to me. When it costs me money. When it costs me sleep. When it costs me time. And I'll be damn it, you made me raise my voice. That was uncalled for. So yeah, there's a little bit of a something going on that is not going to stop if I have to do it myself, which I don't see happening anytime soon. You might be wondering yourself, at some point in this video, am I going to explode? It's like, no, I'm gonna actually do you one better than explode. I'm gonna drive these motherfuckers crazy with kindness. Kindness pisses people off. They get off when you're mad. They get it. They just get off. They go in that closet. They spank that motherfucker till it's dry. No. I've already done that. Now they're gonna get blue balls now. Now I'm gonna keep it real as fuck on the realistic side of the actual Glitchgate scandal. Simon got back to that. And Eli himself said something, which I totally agree with. Eli too says, it would be nice if we could all see eye to eye, at least somewhat, and just stop being so mean at each other and bad and mad. But yeah, well, Eli, I agree. I agree 100. I'm with you 100. I got enough thumbs up for that one. The problem is that's not the type of people that we are dealing with. That is not our plight anymore because there's no way to do it. What has happened to the people that we are speaking of is unchangeable. They will never stop on us because the only thing that would make them happy is if we all went away and talked about unicorns, rainbows, bubblegum, and records. Well, one thing I want to talk about is blunts, beer, and facts. And right now, I'm getting ready for a blunt. Here's my beer. I just covered the facts. Judge a man for what he does. You might want to do yourself a favor. Don't look too closely in that mirror in the morning. You forgot to judge one person. That is the most important person for you to judge. And that's yourself. Torp out.